Welcome back to Barrel Brothers and part, what pass is this? This is part 3 of the last wheel build. Or is it? I've got the Phantoms down in the dank tank, as the boys used to call it. And I thought you can do this in either way. The next bit we've actually got to do is remove the seats because they're rusty and they're crappy. And basically, we do this because we make them. There you go. I got another couple of boxes of them too. But yeah, these will fit most Japanese type wheels. Notably the ones that they generally don't fit, the Phil SSRs, and like most stuff use these pretty standard steel seats, which is what we copied them here because we were getting a lot of wheels that had a lot of rust on them. So we copied them and we make them right here in Australia, about a 15-minute drive in that direction. And they are made here, good quality steel, high tensile, and they are zinc plated with a good zinc plate on them, so they won't rust. Well, they all rust eventually because you've got a wheel nut going up against them, but they'll do the job nicely. And they are for sale at the Barrel Brothers shop, which I think I can put it up here. Go to the Barrel Brothers shop and grab them, but to get them out, this is where you're gonna be. You've noticed with this series that I'm kind of showing you everything. There's no point in me keeping it to myself anymore. It's gonna help you build better wheels. But these suckers here, we've tried pressing them out on the press yonder, but we found that what that can do, especially if you're leaving the lips on, it can actually bend the lips, so the pressure putting them out, getting them out, because it's a slow builds up pressure and then they come out. What we found is a better way of getting them out is to, like a short sharp shock from this side, using this here percussion instrument and a little gadget we made up, which is this, made out of a cap screw. As you see, nicely hammered over on the end, machined down on the head so it fits nicely in there. Right, so what we do is first off we'll give it a hit up here. Notice that's on cardboard. If they don't want to move, and some of them are pretty stubborn, what you then do is put a thin piece of cardboard on the floor, because that's concrete, and that's got no give in it. See, this has got a bit of give here in the carpet, it's got a little bit of give on the top of the table, and that's where there's a bit of give, so it cushions it as you're hitting it. What you want is that the centre to stay solid, bang, and once it starts to move, it'll just come out fairly easily. But the other thing you will need is ear protection, because, well, two reasons. One, sounds remarkably like a bell, doesn't it? Now, when you're doing this, you're leaning over here hitting, because of the shape of the wheel, it directs all this up straight into your ears. So you'll go deaf. First time I did this, yeah, ring it in the ears, ear protection, ear protection. Okay, you'll go deaf smashing these things out, and I need two hands, so I won't be able to do it on this, so we'll do it on the big camera. Volume down. There they are, folks. Done and done. You know, back in the apprentice days, apprentices were always called lightning, because lightning never strikes the same place twice. Probably can't say that these days because it might offend somebody. Starting to see some stuff here too. Look at this. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, maybe it fell off a car or something. Now, as you go through, you start to see a bit more about them. The ones that were painted white are quite a bit older than the ones that were painted silver, which are these ones here. And like one of the things you can see there, those are quite a lot later. And just for these bolt holes, I think they had the bigger barrels. See, they've got a countersunk screw on them. It's like later on, I think these are more front wheel drive. they're quite a lot higher offset. Starting to learn about it. But these are fairly, like, well, just compare the backs. Don't you really want to come off that one? This one might have to go back in. We'll stick it in the blaster and see how she goes, but yeah, we'll see how it goes and we'll go from there. So we're starting to get close to where they're down as far as they can go. We need to clean all of this up. There's quite a bit of corrosion in the back of the new ones and the old ones. But when you get all the paint off them, get them as clean as possible, and then we can start. Once we get them right down and we've cleaned everything up, and it's all about the base that you start from. There's still quite a lot of work in these, but yeah, which you are now seeing for the first time, the actual amount of work that goes into these wheels, and why Barrel Brothers wheels were always really good quality. This is why. Before you say anything, the gauntlets got left outside, now they got a hole in them. So these, if you touch that stuff on these, they kind of melt a bit, so we have to be careful. Look at that, you can see the old gold that it used to be once upon a time, which is the colour that every Techno Phantom should be. Yeah, polished, yeah, paint them white, yeah, paint them red, no. Do them in gold, it's what they originally were, they look the best in that. Alright, part 222 in the cleaning process. Time to go into ye olde wet plaster. One of each to start off with. Before and after. You can see now this has got a bit of corrosion on it, especially like around here. You can see down inside there. They do need a little bit more, which I'll do in due time, but yeah, you can see the corrosion on this once we've... Look at all the white stuff, that's corrosion. These ones are quite a bit newer, and they haven't had such a hard life. These poor guys have been, I don't know, they were sitting in a wrecking yard out in the rain somewhere, but we can still make them look pretty damn good, I think. I mean, we're not going to get through that, you know, through that pitting there. There's not much you can do about that, but yeah, we're going to come up all right. Out of all the machines that I'll be getting rid of when we get rid of this place, and I'm still going to keep the little lathe, but the mill and the lathe and everything, it's going to go polisher and whatnot. The one I'm going to miss the most is that. It's so singularly suited to doing wheels, wet blast. If you want to do wheels, get yourself a wet blaster, not a sand blaster. We tried a sand blaster at the start. This is so much better at doing that particular job. If we're just doing the plastics, I can't really justify keeping this one. So it's got to go like all the rest of it. So sad, but there you go. Goodbye, Comet. The works have been in there for about an hour. You find this, like, that's still got the original paint on. The stuff that's been painted on afterwards, like the white or the silver that was on these, silver just falls off it, rattle packed on. But the original paint that's on them, sometimes quite difficult to get off. So let's have a look at these suckers. Yeah, nah. I'm thinking that the amount of paint's moved on that, it's more of an overnight. Just leave it soaking in there. We'll see if we can loosen that paint up and get it off. But yeah, that's not. It had barely wrinkled some spots in the paint. So after an hour, strong stuff. But the original paint, means that paint's been there for 40 years. So let's hope the old methylene chloride does its job, eh? Righty, so it's actually a week later. And it's a Saturday and it's now piercing down with rain. So yeah, those wheels have been in the dunk tank for a week. So if the paint's not moving, we're in some pretty serious trouble. Anyway, let's go and have a look. Hello, Shannon's here doing a bit of work. Say hello, Shannon.
Hello, Shannon.
Sonny Joe doing a bit of work on that radar. Sports van. God, I love those wheels. So awesome. Polish is gone already. I've got to go out in that rainy yuckiness and have a look in that tank to see how my wheels are. Should have brought an umbrella, shouldn't I? Oh, the paint has moved. God, that stuff stinks. It hasn't moved much though, jeez. Let's get the lid back on there. Yucky wetness, and I can't put these on my camera because it'll melt the buttons. I don't know what the hell they made paint out of back in those days, but this has been in methylene chloride for a week. And basically, I figure we're going to have to blast it to get it off. That's pretty impressive. Let's see what this sucker can do. After a bit of blasting, there's our before and after. There's a bit of corrosion underneath that the top layer of paint, and that can be seen on this one that's been blasted here. Some of that's just sand out of the machine, but yeah, still a couple of little bits and pieces down in the corner there that we could probably get. Whether we actually need to, I don't know, but down into these corners is a bit of a hassle because it floods back out again. But like that's on the back and it doesn't really matter that much. But so that's about nearly an hour's work to get all of that off, to get from this stage to this stage. So there's quite a bit to do there. So yeah, there's probably 4 hours work getting these blasted properly. I've actually started back on the Phantoms in the meantime while I was over there, so I like to get one set done and then the next set done, but yeah, I thought I'd better do one to give you a bit of variety. Okay, the next little trick of the trade is this. Alright, so all of this here, this surface, and the shiny lips that you see like this here, that's anodizing. It's a great finish. It's very hard and it's long wearing, but this is like 40 years old, so you know, so that can still look like that after 40 years. How do you get it off? Well, trust me, once you get it off, and this, I'll say this at the start, before you even start, it's not going to look like that if you take the anodizing off. It's going to look like this. All right, that's what it's going to look like, because the anodizing, in the process of anodizing, it opens up the pores and it gets all in there. So when you take it out, all the pores are left open in the aluminium and it comes out sort of an off-white color. So what do you use to get it off? Caustic soda. Also present in oven cleaner will do the job, but you're giving yourself, like, then after that, if you want a nice polished finish, you're going to have to sand it up to about 1500, 2000, and then get stuck into it with, we use the pedestal polisher. So there's a lot of work, but the thing about working with oven cleaner and working with caustic soda is this. All right, you see that? You see a little symbol on the right there where it burns through your hand? Yes. We do it in a little tub that we actually had out here that somebody thoughtfully emptied out for me the other day. Good on you. But we have a hose handy, because if you're lowering something, think about it, if you're lowering something into a thing and it splashes, it will burn, and it burns. Okay, so hose straight away to hose that stuff off. Don't piss around with this stuff. Yeah, this will cause permanent damage. Okay, and you need safety glasses, you need all the gauntlets, the whole thing. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do it with these or not. I may. What we usually do is take the anodizing off the back, and then we Scotch Brite the back of the wheel on the balancer, spin it up and then Scotch Brite it all so it all looks nice. Somebody's emptied all my caustic soda out and there's only a little bit left in here, so I don't know if I can be bothered. Anyway, on to the next job. I'm still halfway through blasting. I've been here, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, so I've been blasting stuff for the last quite a few hours. Well, last 3 hours, and we got that one done, and we got the other 2 Phantoms done. So all 4 Phantoms done. One of the works is done. Still got 3 of these guys to do. So I think that is tomorrow Mark's problem. Yeah, I'll be here on a Sunday. Kind of sucks, but there you go. You've got to do this stuff, you've got to do it. It takes hours and hours and hours. Why are your wheels so expensive, Barrel Brothers? This is why, because it takes freaking hours of hand work, okay? You want to set up for yourself, remember, your time is worth money. People don't want to pay it, don't do their work. I'm going to spend the rest of this, it's Sunday today, see, change shirt. I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon, because I decided to have breakfast and stuff before I left home, and now it's, and then I did some editing, and then, yeah, okay. Anyway, so I'm going to spend the rest of the day blasting these guys, which you probably don't want to watch, so we'll call that quits on the end of episode 3. in the start of episode 4, you will see these all nicely cleaned up, and we'll start on the next phase, which is the next phase. Thanks for watching, Barrel Brothers, and we'll see you for the next episode where we do up these Technos and Equipo ones. Thanks for watching. See you next time.